Hello, everyone. My name is David. I tried writing certain things that I know, coming up with different ways of doing this. I'm just going to come out and try to tell you about my life. Now, you may think that is a bunch of hogwash. I don't care what you think. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. And pull off my glasses. I get a little blur right here. I don't care if this goes viral or not. I don't care if you subscribe to me or not. Because I know, like I do, I can hang up on a character and just listen and watch without actually not going there. So you never know what I'm doing. But then again, I don't know if it registers with YouTube or not, or with other social pages or not. But it doesn't matter. What I'm doing is trying to tell a story. And here it is, I'm almost a minute and a half into it, and have it explained to you. Most of my life is a blur, in and out of mental hospitals, back and forth, because of the voices in my head. There are gaps in my life where I can see things happening, I just have no control over it. I can see family interactions, I have no control over it. This is part of my personality. Let me start from a beginning point. When I was younger, about 3 years old, and people say you can't remember that. Well, I have a type of eidetic memory that's played out my whole life, and more about verbal than it is uh, visual recognition. Verbally, I can recognize everything that's happened before. Ever since I was about like one and a half, I can remember everything. I can recall a time when the family was traveling from one place to another, and I was in a bus station, and they were playing that song, Johnny Be Good. And I got up, pulled my hair to top of my hair, pulled the hair on top of my head, and started spinning around, dancing. And I remember that because I remember people laughing and having a good time about what I was doing. I remember it was a bus station. But yet my family thinks I was too young to remember this. So I must have been about a year and a half old when this happened, because we were traveling from Georgia to Nebraska. I remember that very well. And I think we stayed with a foster family. Here comes my cat. Just a second. Let me pause this. Now you may see my cat coming across. There she comes. That's because she's a female, old, about 20 years old, and male cat comes out there wanting to play with her, and she jumps across back and forth. But back to myself. I have an eidetic memory based more on verbal than I do visual stimulus. Even though visually I can say a word and the visions come back to me what was happening. Like at 3 years old, sleeping in the same bed with my older brother and feeling an excruciating pain from my rectal, and then feeling the bed vibrate. I remember hearing the sounds and seeing my head looking at a wall and wondering why my brother was hurting me like that. But then again, I'm a young kid. I know I'm about 3 years old. And this happened almost nightly between me and my brother, all the way up till I was 8 years old. Now, at the time, my mother had had two more children. She had a little girl first, and then she had a little brother. And the little girl, I think she adored a lot. And when she had the little girl, remember all this is going on. There comes my cat. And while all this was going on, she had said to me several times, David, get away from here. Or, David, I wish you were never born. And she said that many times. I think my older sister, oldest of them, picked up on it because she said that to me many times too. I wish you were never born. You're nothing but trouble. She did that to her younger sister, my older sister, one in between the four of us. And I'm pretty sure she probably said that to her because the turmoil and the fighting and the war going between the two was ongoing to the point to where my biological sister, that's older than me, and the one above her, which is not a biological sister, um, kind of fought between each other. I was one at the end. So my oldest sister caught on to what my mother would say and say, I wish you were never born. All the time, my brother was raping me, telling me he didn't love me either. So all I had was my next to oldest sister, and she couldn't be around me because every time she tried to do something with me, my older brother and older sister would intervene and stop it. My mother didn't love me. So during this time, between 3 and 8 years old, I really had no friends. I'm trying to paint a background to you so you know what's happened to me. But I was not there. I could see what was happening, but I physically and mentally was not there. The only time I was there was when I was in this graveyard that was by our apartment complex. And in that graveyard, I could see the headstones, and they would talk back to me. Could never see them, but they would talk back to me. I didn't realize it then, but I was setting up a precedence because they would talk to me at all times. Even with my brother raping me and my older sister being mean and my mother being just not there. And that's because she had given birth to my younger sister. And she did that again when my brother was born, telling me, I wish you were never born, David. I don't know why they hated me. I think they were just going through stuff. But my older sister picked up on this and she used it. She would say she wish I was never born. And then she says, oh, David, do this. I'm your sister. Don't you feel sorry for me? And yes, I had a bleeding heart. But you got to remember, I was not there. I had emotionally removed myself from my family. I mean, it was void. I went through actions and seeing things and doing things, even interacting with my younger sister like I shouldn't have, and interacting with my brother like I shouldn't have. I was not there. That was not me. Physically, yes. Me, no, because that's not who I am. But my younger brother and sister never got to see or feel the things that I did. I was a complete turmoil. My next oldest sister, I believe that she felt it. even though she ran away and got married and moved all over the country, she had her escape. What I did was remove myself from the situation. I went through what I consider a society norm most of my life. But the whole time, until I was about like 51, 52 years old, I was emotionally void. Married 3 times, but I was emotionally void. I was not there. I could see what I was doing, but I could not control what I was doing. And it's hard for others to understand this because they don't see this either. And the reason why you had to be in my situation, there's many out there that was in my situation and still are. And these are the people I'm trying to reach, kind of bring them back in, sort of like I was lost and I got pulled back in and I can see things now more clearly than ever. I had lost parts of my memory, but the memories are coming back. Matter of fact, I think they're all back. They still give me turmoil. I have my depressions, my anxiety, my mood swings. Sometimes I'm very happy, sometimes I'm giddy and jokey. But overall, all those little different mood swings are just my way of escaping, and I realize that. And I'll let it play out until I can take control and bring it back in. And that's what I'm trying to show to others out there that's in my state. You may think that you have a mental illness. You don't. You have an emotional trouble. You having sparks go off in your head in regions of your brains that doesn't need to be there. No matter how many x-rays, they're not going to see these little micro things that's happening to you. And they cannot correct them. They can speculate. They can go and do surgery to move it, give you electric shock, and make it even worse where you float further away. But they don't see what you're going through is a large emotional void. You use many ways to escape. Some, unfortunately, use suicide. That's not the way to go. Please don't do that. But others use drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, anger, violence, fighting, guns, crimes, all this stuff that's going on. And you want to know, well, I know it's wrong, but why? Because you found this is your escape. Mine is running away. Mine is just seeing it there, just trying to get away, far away from it as I can. But I'm not doing that no more. For the first time, I've stayed in one place longer than I have anything else. I've been in this town that I'm living in for the last 15 years. Just more than what I've stayed any place at any time with any of my families. We never stayed more than 4 or 5 years at the most in here. I'm 15 years, same place, doing the same thing. And I'm realizing this is where I'm supposed to be, and my life is getting better. I can help you get your life better, but the only way that I can do that is by telling my story. I'm going to stop now because it's hard to upload this to YouTube as it is, and I want to try to add some music to this. May not, but either way, I'm going to come back again. I don't know when, and tell the rest of my story. Y'all have a good day.